by dear name of Creator of all existence. This is part 8 of my religious notes. In the following you hear a short introduction about this part's notes, but before you continue, I must mention that part 1 contained main introduction to all my religious notes. It is better if you listen to part 1 before you listen to my religious notes. This part contains 8 notes. It starts with note 44 and ends with note 51. These are continue of my first notes about Abrahamism. In these notes I still use name, God, for creator of all existence. Note 44 say, whatever path, religion, ideology, culture, or else say our path is the only correct path, is the most wrong. Note 45 is about what enemy build, serve only enemy. Paul of Christianity was an enemy, wasn't he? Note 46 is about my personal experience in getting tortured by both Iranians and Danish. Danish ones shown to have natural talent in torturing. Note 47 is about all mentioned prophets and Bible has done a task for Abrams. I don't know that, like a slave, I run their tasks too or not. Note 48 is about the Creator and the true prophets are true master of the house. But Abrams has got themselves and people to become those dogs whom feel themselves the master and true prophets and the Creator as their slaves. Note 49 is about most beneficial religion for religion abusers is religion of death prophets. Note 50 is about Iranians started to harass me in radio already when I was a kid in elementary school. Note 51 is about Bible has very good examples, but if Torah, Bible, or Quran had any good for us true prophets, we should have been king of all believers since last 3,000 years ago by now. Fact is that these books reach us nowhere, as they didn't in last 3,000 years. I hope that you find these notes useful. Written by Prophet King Sayyid Muhammad Ali Meraji, King of Kingdom of Creator of all existence in earth, and Sasani and Hakim Aneshi of Persia. Reader, Heather from Natural Reader of Natural Soft.
That path, that way, that religion, that lifestyle, that mentality, that ideology, that whatever else, expect or mathematics, that which say, I am what I say is the correct way. All who do, all who follow this way, all who obey this way, they are in the right path and they do the correct things. That way is wrong. That way mentality is wrong. As I said, expect mathematics that 1 plus 1, what you call it in English, plus 1, I don't know. 1, it becomes 2 and so on. It is only one way to do that. 2 times 2, it is 4. It is a mathematics. There will be no other correct way. It will be never 2 times 2 become 3 or 5. So it will always 2 times 2 will be 4. 1 plus 1 will be 2. That's mathematics. And that has expectation, what you call it. That is the only thing that has only one correct way. The other things the other that I have mentioned, religions, other lifestyles, other mentalities, other opinions, other political opinions, other political system, other everything else are not mathematic. But, if you are you are going one way, you have chosen your one ideology, one religion, one this or that, and according to that, this another ideology, or that another ideology, or that another religion, or that another mentality, or whatever else is wrong, it is not always mean that they don't have right in that. I said that one that say anything else than this I say is wrong. That is wrong, but in the other hand, there are something that is mentioned as wrong, It does, they do not become right and good, because I have mentioned it, that it is possible that there be other ways that be better, or even as good or better or whatever else, and reach you to the goal. It is, it does not give any reason to realize all the wrong, And of course, every time those whom try to keep whatever they have control on, it is mostly them who try to enforce what they know it mathematically is wrong, and they have mentioned it as wrong. They try to realize it, and even sometimes they try to get the one that has a better way, has a better religion, has a better mentality, has a better, more right, more correct path. They get him to, direct or indirectly support that wrong, and to do that wrong, they can make him wrong, These are politics of, dirty politics of, that get used mostly by those that they are wrong. They know their past, what they do, what they have, does not reach anywhere. But they want to keep it because they are the leaders. They are those whom has been. What the enemy build is useful for enemy. What Paulus has made out of you had no use for me by now. In last 25 years, I have been in Denmark, which is a Christian country, which is a Protestant evangelical country, and I was travel some other countries, and surely there was Catholics and Orthodox too. But what enemy build is useful for enemy. That weapon that enemy build is useful for enemy. And if Paulus was our enemy as Jesus time, he has built something which is, I can see that, you can see that today is my enemy. It is not my friend. It is something that making even my shit. Danish learned, Persian learned, Danish guys. Wow, what you call it? This very comic actor, Owen Wilson, you know, and the one who fucked my wife, and you know, all the rest of my enemies, really something, really those whom are really something, you know. It is, you know, what Paulus has built. Paulus has built you to be and you became like him, and you make our shit enemies to something. What the shit do we have use for such people, such you know, such religion that destroy ourselves and make our enemies something? Maybe we are crazy, maybe God is crazy, maybe, you know, paradise is a what you call it, a toilet that is good for those shit that make our enemies something. It is what you think about God and you know, heaven and something like that. Oh, I remember something about Danish or something like that. You know, Iranians are very good in torture, you know. They have kept me under torture in last 44 years. And still, it is those that has started to torture me since 44 years ago are the main torturers, you know. And Iranians in general, you know, they are good to be deaf, blind, and dumb, you know, to not see anything, to not hear anything, and to not say anything. They are very good in. They were very good in that. In case of cooperation and torture. But after Iranians, Danish are, I think, after Iranians are Danish number 2. They have a natural talent in torturing too. Danish have a better natural talent in torturing than Iranians. And their cooperation in torture is much better than Iranians. And I do not like to go in details now, but they are good in torture. They have natural talent. Every Bible or Quran or Abrahamic religions, prophets, that you hear their name has done a task. They have done a job. So as it look, you know, as you know, the disaster and death level in my time show, and as it they have started to keep me under torture since I was 4 years old. And its result in death and destruction. It looked that I am doing a task for them, you know. How much this task is consciously and wise and by my own knowledge, and how much I am just a fool and running their task for them, and how much of it, regardless I am wise or unwise, I have to, because by torture they close all other ways, and it is the only way that remains, that doing their task as they wish. Or in other words, I am inside their cage. Whatever task I do, wherever side in the cage I move to, I am inside their cage. Whenever, regardless which side of their cage I build something for them. It is between these different options, different possibilities. But, you know, I do not want to bring any child, but let's see if there remain any child after me. If there was my name, if they have mentioned my name, there was a prophet that he has done this and that and happened this and that, you know. So, become doubtful. I want you to be doubtful. Because maybe by torture, by everything, by my foolishness, by keeping me in jail and torture, and making all these setups for me, and all they cooperated against me, maybe it is their task that I have done for them. If they have mentioned my name, and if I do not do their task, it is possible that they do not even mention my name. They do not even recognize me. You know, all the Abrahamic prophets that you see, that you read in Bible and Quran, all those that are mentioned, they are those whom have done a task for their slave owner, have played a theater role for their slave owner. It is what I want you to when you look at these animals that are trained by a circus man, and they do what they do, and you wonder how an animal can do such thing, can be in control and under order and of a man, and or a dog, you know, that you have to train your dog. You know, when you sit in the circus and you see the animal do that, you overseen all the physical and psychological torture that animal was under, that has left nothing else to do except if, for example, jumping through a lion jumping through a ring of fire. That lion was under so heavy psychological and physical torture, and has left only jumping through that ring of fire being the best solution, because after the lion jump, maybe he get awarded to, and he give him a chocolate or something like that to eat. You forget all the other ways that lion tried to do when he get under press, when he put in front of that ring of fire and get under press under his training. Surely he has tried all the ways that was possible for him. And when he has done the last thing, which was jumping through the ring, it was the only way out of torture for him. And so I have seen a TV program for training dogs, you know. It was about those dogs that, you know, they all the time they make voice, and they are not in order of their owner, and you know, the dog trainer guy said that dog must understand, must accept that you are in charge. You, the owner, is in charge, not the dog. If you have a weak character, the dog take over you and think that he's the one in charge. And whenever someone go around, or someone, you have a guest or something like that, dog is worried, because he know himself as a master of the house, and he sees someone else is in house too, so dog is worried. But when you are the master, house is under your control, and dog is under your control, and dog is relaxed. You know, I have been under torture since I was 4 years old, until now that I am 48 years old. And surely, since I was 4 until 48, some of the things I remember, you know, that's what the torture I was under. And since torture is everyday life, it's 24 hours life, so I forgot most of it, you know. But surely, like that lion, since I was 4 until now, in most cases, there was jumping through the ring was the only way left for me, as it is today, you know, as I can see today. And today, it is not a few people that are torturing me. Those few people that torture me get raised their children, you know, Danish people raise their children in torturing me. And I can see in the movies and everything else, you know, in the news and everything else, that the whole world is supporting to have me, to have God, prophet, like a dog, like a trained dog or a trained lion. That we do whatever you command us to do. And you are the master of the house and we are your property. And since God is his prophet, and since as a human, as a man, a God prophet is a man like any other, what that get a God prophet over all others is his God. Is God choosing him? Is God choosing to be him? You know. And when you try to train your prophet by torture to be your dog, to be like your dog, to be like your trained lion, that be harmless to you, and you make circus with him, you make a circus religion with him. It is in fact, you want God to be your dog and you be master of God. It is like you want God to be that your trained lion. You know, it is, I was under torture, as I told you, since 4 years until now, which I am 49, I guess. And I took your torture, you know, and best part of my life has gone under this torture. Surely there was things that I was not strong enough to resist you, and you won. To hardcode, to make it like what you call it, like in many cases I can see, you know, when I remember my life, when I review my life, I can see there are many things that you tried by beating me by torture, you know, by beating me direct or indirect, to try to burn it in my brain, you know. It is like you write something on a stone, you know. You have tried so hard to write your mastership in my brain as strong as you try to write it over a stone. But I tried to clean it, and I tried to clean this. And I have to disappoint you, there are not many things that you have a stone hooked in my brain. So you have not my God in your chain, like your dog or like your lion, like your trained and in your order lion. You know, I want God prophet to be free. I want God prophet to be on top. I want God to not have any restriction. And all of it because I want his God to have no restriction I want his God to be not under order of anyone at all. It is, I want God to be master of all, not anyone be master of him. And surely you have learned many of these negative things from your religions, from Islam, from Jew, from Bible, from Quran, from Christianity. But it is all wrong. You have learned something satanic. Instead of obey God, you want God to be like your dog. Instead of obey God, you want to train your God to be under your command and do whatever you want. What a hell satanic religion. The easiest religion and most preferred religion is worshipping dead prophets' God and taking dead prophets as your prophet, as the one whom you believe in. Because first of all, he's dead, he cannot do anything. Second, he do not want anything. He's dead and engraved. There is no way that you can that he can ask you for any service, that you want to put any money or any effort to serve him. And what you have believed in become a property for you. All people that you get to follow him, follow that dead prophet and follow his God, they are in fact your people. They are those who serve you. So it is why that I say, dear God, dear my living God, kill all worshippers of dead prophets and imams and their gods, regardless if they are Muslims and worship Muhammad God and imams God, or they are Christian and they worship Jesus and Jesus God and his disciple or his disciples God, or Jew or Jews prophet, before year 2000, whatever Jew prophets has. Only remain those who either does not worship any God or any prophet, or worship me and my God as living prophet and his God. Or better said, I want God to accept only worship of those who worship him through me. Worship him as live God of live prophet. Whomever else whom worship God through other ways, through other religions, I want God to kill them all and do not remain any of them. Some of Iranians know themselves as Iranians, and especially they say that we are Iranian, we are not Arabs, and so on, you know. But and there is another thing about Iranians that you know, Imam Hussein, husband of Queen of Sassani, and grandson of Muhammad the Prophet, was the one that has stood up against those who come on power after Muhammad the Prophet, and he saw that he cannot get over them, so he started to move with his people to somewhere. And his enemy and leader of his enemy's military, his name was Shemr. He and his soldiers has killed all of Imam Hussein's men and Imam Hussein, and took their women back to where they ruled. Iranians Shia Muslims used to cry a lot for Imam Hussein, and know Shemr as one of their worst enemy, one of history's worst enemy, and a bloody killer, you know. It is wild that since I was 4 years old until now, who I am close to 50, this shit has killed me alive in 45 years. While Shemr in one attack has killed Imam Hussein and finished, you know. He did not suffer him. He take his head, finish. These motherfuckers, with their torture, with their abuse, with their support of torture, with being blind and deaf and stump, and not hear anything, not know about anything, while they're even in their TV talk about it. And indirectly, through their TV, they show me that yes, there are some people are torturing you, and through them we laugh at you. You know, when I was in what you call it, those first school from first year to fifth year. One day, you know, there was some other 2-3 other boys that started to irritate me, you know. First I didn't say anything, then I said it is not possible, you know, they become, you know, more and more violent, more and more rude. So I started to hit. I just started to, you know, hit back. And a school principal came and took me and say, why you are, you know, hitting these people, or why you know, something like that, why you are fighting these people. And I said it was them, there are 3, and it was them who started to fight with me also. And he said, no, it is you. And So they took me in the office, and they, that time they used to put students who should have punished in the bank, it's in a chair or something like that, and take their shoes off and hit them at their feet by a or what you call it, lineal in Danish, I don't know what it's called and they had a piece of wood or something like that to hit, and they used to hit, I guess, 10 times or something like that. And if you have done something more worse, maybe more, I don't know. And they took me in the middle of the school and middle of the schoolyard, It was not normal that everybody should stand up and see that someone get hit, They took me in the middle of the school, and they said, okay, lay here and, take your shoes off. And when they wanted to do that, everybody was quiet. They have told no students, the children used to shout all the time, and, but they were all quiet. And the school used to send radio, Radio Iran, from a school speaker. And suddenly, radio get quiet too. They did not turn off the radio. The fuckers in the radio stopped talking, And so everybody was quiet, and some said, some of them said, no, we cannot hit him, and some of them said, yes, we can hit him. It's, this make to finding me more foolish. And they have hit me, and then Radio Tehran, or said something, I don't know, that if you do something or we hit you, I don't know, it was threat, or I was child on that time. But they said something directly about me. And they were quiet while I was punished. And in this way, this shit motherfucker will already threaten me when I was at, I don't know, maybe 2, 3, or 4th grade. And I was under 10 years old. They were already tell me that you have got punished at your feet at the bank. But in reality, that radio that you hear, we will punish you with that. And they have done this shit. As you can see, every movie, every TV, every radio is chatting with me. And, it is what I say to these people that say Shem was very bad, very this and very that, He was a killer, he was a bloody killer, he was the one who killed Imam Hussein and this and that. While in 44 years, they have got this motherfucker, the whole world's TV and radio, the whole world's shit motherfuckers to learn something in Persian and kill me by his words, kill me by his torture. Every Danish shit, the Danish piece of shit, families, garbage, most garbage, shit Danish families, they gathered around themselves and they have raised these shit Danish garbages to torture me from childhood until now that they are, I guess, about 20. And this shit talk Persian much better than any Iranian, because they had nothing to do in their life instead of torturing me in Persian.
Iranian sham, this is Muslim sham, this is Shia sham. You know what kind of, you know, Imam Hussein sham in with one sword took his head off, finish. He did not torture him all his life. He was husband of Queen of Sasani, and he was Imam, and he had about 70 people around him. And he just killed them. You motherfuckers has tortured me in last 45 years, living garbage. You are all shame. Regardless of you motherfuckers are such Danish shit cheap abusers that are after their own political and personal abuse, or this Iranian shit against the fucking regime, or Iranian fucking regime against these shit motherfuckers, or whatever else shit abuser in world you are. You know, I have wrote in my web that I'm not to forgive these motherfuckers that have made the smallest torture to me, and cooperated with those whom tortured me. And as well, I don't forgive all those whom kept quiet and did nothing to help me. And I want all of these shits get killed and sent to hell by my God. You know, it is more direct word that I tell you, shit motherfuckers, what a shame, what a garbage, what a I don't know, shit of toilet you motherfuckers are. And how I am with you, and I were not fool that time when I was 4 years old and you started to torture me. I'm not fool right now, and I won't be fool. There is no forgiveness. I saw nothing in you in last 45 years that you have tortured me, motherfuckers. That you were blind and deaf and stumped when I was getting tortured. And I never forgive you. When I was to write about Abraham, I told about it to someone that I know, a Christian, and I said I used some, sayings from Jesus, from this or from that, and she said somewhere in Bible there is, I guess Solomon had wrote all very good wise words, and you can use those words. But I didn't, because if I want to be honest and say what do I think about Bible, about Torah, about New Testament, about Quran, if I want to be honest, I should say, well, they are good, that a prophet get to know that he is a prophet, what is a prophet, and who is God, Something in this case he learned from these books, something about history too. But Torah is about 3,000 years old, and New Testament is about 2,000 years old, and Quran is about 1,400 years old. If these books had any real benefit for God, prophets, we should have had either a 3,000 years old crown over our head, or a 2,000 years old crown over our head, or a 1,400 years old crown over our head. While in fact these religions not only got us any crown, but also crown of our mother, Queen of Sasani Shahbanu. They were in help to take that crown down from our head too. In last, maybe 1,000 years in Iran. So these books has not real any benefit for us, has not any benefit for God and His Prophet. It is why that I rather make my sayings, make my words not out of these books. These books did not help my past prophet fathers, and they would not help me or any next of me to reach anywhere with these books. It was my honest, there are 3 million people who believe in these books, and it is what I say, damage their, damage them. But reality is reality, If we had a 1,400 years old crown over our head, we would have said Quran is the best book, If we had 2,000 years old crown over our head, we could have said New Testament is the best. If we had 3,000 years old crown over our head, we would have said Torah is the best. But it is not. And you cannot go further and find any solution until you accept what you were doing was wrong. From its start, from its 3,000 years old ago, until right now. And I am not to bring you any other shit book that you take God, prophets, God-given throne and crown away